Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Dustin Kreis, and today we are going to do a demo discussion. I just got done playing the Final Fantasy 15 Platinum demo. It was just released today. I saw people talking about it online. Downloaded it, played it, finished it in under an hour. It was for about 48 minutes, all said and done. And yeah, it's a very interesting demo. I think Senkai from Accent on Gamers said it best when he said it's very Kingdom Hearts-esque. And if you guys are desperately waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3, I would suggest go downloading the Final Fantasy 15 Platinum demo and giving it a shot. It feels like the combat has changed a bit since the last demo. There was a version 2.0 of the demo that I never downloaded, the original demo. But I really enjoyed that first demo, and I was really impressed with what I saw of Final Fantasy 15. This one, which granted, I feel like there's more stuff in this one that I could explore and, try to see more things in. But this one is a lot more low-key. This one involves Noct, the main character, sort of having a dream of his younger self, a kid version of himself, in these very varied environments. One does feel straight up lifted, straight out of Kingdom Hearts. You're very small in like a dining room, and everything, like the tables are really large, and you're miniaturized. And that feels lifted straight out of like the Alice in Wonderland stages of Kingdom Hearts. But other than that, you are treated to some very beautiful outdoor vistas, some very beautiful cityscapes, and overall, I think the game is. I honestly, from two demos, I can't really tell if the actual game itself is going to be good, but I can tell you that I am very interested in Final Fantasy 15, and it feels slightly weird because I haven't. I don't know when the last time I can honestly say I was super excited about a Final Fantasy game. Maybe 10 was the last one that I was like excited for, and 10, if you know me, 10 was a bit of a disappointment. So to be kind of excited for a Final Fantasy again is kind of a strange thing. But everything that I've seen from these two demos, I really like what I'm seeing, and I really hope that things continue in this good fashion. I remember with the first demo having a very difficult time wrapping my head around the combat and switching weapons and all that stuff. I would say the first demo, if you really want like an idea of what the game will be like, the first demo will probably show you the big open vistas, the big enemies, and all that kind of stuff that you'll have to deal with in the game. Whereas I feel like the second demo was like, okay, we took a lot of your feedback, we refined things, here's what we did. And I feel like the combat is a lot more streamlined in the second demo. I had a hard time figuring out how to select weapons and which weapons did what and all that. In the second demo, basically you have 4 slots on your D-pad to select weapons, and you hold down the circle button to attack. And while you're attacking and hold down that circle button, you could be changing weapons and kind of building combos with the different weapons. And the game gives you a toy sword because you're a kid, and what's called a squeaky hammer. And you can pretty much interchange between the two weapons. You can use the sword to start off the combo, kind of stagger the enemy a little bit, and then quickly switch to the hammer to do a more powerful strike, because the hammer takes a slower time than the swords do. And then you can switch back to the sword to continue sort of getting more smaller attacks in. I actually like this system a lot more than what was in the original system, because I had a hard time, and I remember I think I was talking to Senkai about it, and he seemed to get a pretty good handle on that battle system. So it'd be interesting to see what he thought of the new tweaks to the combat system. The magic, and again, I only played through this once. The magic seems a little difficult to use. Basically, the spells takes one of your slots on the D-pad, and you can select, like, the game gives you the fire spell. You can select that, and basically your character kind of gets in a throwing motion, and you have to kind of move your stick around to aim where you're going to throw this. Basically, the fire spell is kind of like a grenade. Basically, throw this grenade, and then you throw it at them, and hopefully that you hit. The cool thing about the spell, though, is if you miss, it doesn't necessarily get wasted. It does create a little pool of fire on the ground that if the character or the enemy walks through, it will deal some damage to him, but not the massive damage that the spell would deal right off the bat. So it's just one of those things where you have to kind of get used to the aiming of the spell and things like that. Story mode wise, it didn't really give you much of a slice of what the story was going to be like. It kind of gave you a little bit about the importance of Nock's father and things like that. But I felt like you got more idea of what the story was going to be like in the first demo. So the first demo that came out, I would say, is required playing. Then again, I have not played the 2.0 version, so I don't know what they changed for that. But I really enjoyed the original version of that. And then this demo, to kind of see the tweaks. But, I think Final Fantasy 15 is shaping up to be quite nice. Of course, the game could come out and be just a horrific disappointment. But I don't think so. I as much as it pains me to do it, I want to give Square Enix the benefit of the doubt. That they've listened to criticisms of the series. They're trying to fix it. They've had... they have Bandai Namco with the Tales series nipping at their heels. They have, Nintendo and Monolith Soft with Xenoblade basically, outclassing them. It's kind of do or die for Square Enix and the Final Fantasy series in a lot of ways. So it's going to be interesting to see, what they do from here, because while Final Fantasy 13 was a competent game, and I actually enjoyed Final 13-2 more than 13-1, I haven't played Lightning Returns yet, but I guess Lightning Returns is just like a nightmare of a game. And then, with Final Fantasy 14 being online, I did enjoy my time with it, but I don't really feel like playing an MMO a lot. So this is really Square Enix time to show us that they can do a big single-player RPG again and make it worthwhile, because the last one that really just knocked it out of the park for me was Final Fantasy IX. Like, that was the last in what I consider the classic era of Final Fantasy. And I want to root for Final Fantasy, and I want to root for Square Enix, because Final Fantasy VI is my favorite game of all time, and I really want to see this series continue and grow, and each entry be better than the previous one and things like that. And what I've seen in these demos so far, it fills me with hope, but at the same time, I kind of sit back and I'm like, I gotta keep a low profile on this, because if I get too hyped up and then the game comes out and I dislike it, then it's just gonna hurt that much worse. But from what I've seen graphically, gameplay wise, musically, the music I really enjoyed in this demo as well. Everything's shaping up to be quite nice. So it's free on it's on PSN. I'm assuming it's on the Xbox Live Store. I don't know about Steam, but the demo is out there. Download it, give it a shot, and kind of keep some cautious optimism about the game, because it might come out and just blow us all away. I don't know, but from what I see so far in the demos, I really like what I've seen. So I'm looking forward. I think the release date is September. Sometime in September. We'll see if they push it back again, because by God, that game has been 10 years in the making. Will it ever come out? I don't know. But so far it's September, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I really enjoyed the Final Fantasy 15 Platinum demo, and definitely go check it out if you have any interest in the game at all. It's not going to blow you away. It's not like that first demo where you really felt like, I spent hours with that first demo, and you really felt like you came away with something. This is just a nice little snippet to sort of tide you over and maybe give you an idea of the things that they've been tweaking and changing. And yeah, I really enjoy it. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.